There are many reasons why we stop creating music. There are many reasons why we stop creating art in our lives as we get older. For many of us, when we were children, at some point along the line, maybe it was middle school, maybe it was high school, there was a music teacher, an older sibling, a parent, another respected adult who said, "Well, maybe sit in the back of the room during choir. Oh, that drawing doesn't look so good." Somewhere along the line, someone gave us constructive feedback that was not constructive. And we started to internalize this idea that there are good artists and there are bad artists. And that if you're not a good artist, why bother being an artist at all? It is so important that we understand that art making is not some kind of a climbing up the ladder type of idea, that creating art is not just trying to achieve greatness in art. Creating art is intrinsic to human nature. So it's not a matter of comparing ourselves to those around us, comparing ourselves to people who are famous. It's a matter of, how does creating art transform my life? As we become older, we begin to forget how much it means to sing, how much it means to dance, how important it is to still be alive in this body. And we start comparing ourselves to other people, comparing ourselves to professionals in fields and saying, well, if I can't be on American Idol, then I shouldn't bother. Or people come to me, I'm a professional musician, and a lot of people come to me and they say, wow, that was such a great performance. You should be on American Idol. And I'm like, why? Why do I want to take art and music and turn it into something where you get voted off the show or voted off the island if you're not good enough? So we have this aspect of competition in our culture, this false idea of a meritocracy and this idea of competition, and that everything exists in this. If there's room for me, that means I have to push somebody else out of the way. Art making can't be like that. Art making needs to be something we do because we love it, we enjoy it, and it increases and enlivens and enriches the experience of being human. Let me talk about ancestors for a moment. We have biological ancestors, and we have philosophical, spiritual, and other types of ancestors. Now, for some of us, our biological ancestors include both heroes and also villains. Some of us have heroes that we can look up to, and some of us have abusers and all kinds of other folks who we learn how not to live by looking toward them. And for some of us, our biological ancestors it won't work. There's too much family trauma, or for other reasons. Or for some folks who are adopted, or for some other reason don't have a connection to biological ancestors. There's a side of my family I don't have a lot of connection to in terms of biological ancestors. Just because we may have an ambivalent or mixed relationship with our biological ancestors doesn't mean that we don't deserve to be here in this world, and that we are not the hopes and the dreams of those ancestors, that we have the opportunity to be the living, growing fruit out of the seed that was planted long ago. And so for those of us who have trouble connecting with our biological ancestors, one of the great things about growing older and becoming an adult is you have the opportunity to choose your spiritual ancestors, your philosophical ancestors. I'm not related to Martin Luther King, but I have the opportunity to read Martin Luther King. I have the opportunity to watch Martin Luther King's sermons and to be buoyed up and transformed by that genius and by that greatness. And so I know who I am in the world, not just because of my parents who brought me into the world, but also because of all of the great touchstones throughout history that I can identify with, and it helps to secure me in a time and place here. I want to talk for a moment about resilience and how, when we look towards our philosophical ancestors, we can build great resilience from that, because I understand that whatever challenges I may face in my life, whatever difficulties I may face in my life, however tired I might feel, I don't feel more tired than Rosa Parks felt. I don't feel more exhausted and tired than Medgar Evers felt or than Malcolm X felt. And so as someone who comes out of a civil rights tradition, I understand that the struggles that I may face, the adversities that I may face, are just the echoes of older adversities that my heroes have lived through and survived through. And I'm able to gain resilience knowing that there is such a mighty cloud of witnesses behind me, understanding that there are such strong shoulders that I stand upon. And so my invitation to you is, when you reach adversity, when you reach challenges, think about the ancestors that you've had in your family. Maybe they immigrated to this country. Maybe they started a business. Maybe they were the first to make it through college. Think about the ancestors who had to overcome great adversity and understand that their strength is within you. That resilience is something that is shared from those who come before us, empowers us. We have that resilience, and it gives us the opportunity to empower others.